From First Coast News, this is Good Morning Jacksonville.
We're following some breaking news this morning at 6 o'clock. A JSO officer and another driver are in the hospital. This after a crash on New Kings Road overnight.
So police say the officer was responding to a call for help. This was at the time of this whole incident. Alex Sather now live at the scene. He's got the very latest for us now. Alex, good morning.
Lewis, we just saw in the last couple minutes officers clear this scene. We'll have another update for you live in Northwest Jacks. Alex Sather, First Coast News.
I'm here. Hey, good morning, and we are tracking Tropical Depression 6. Got to get this data out to you.
But if anything does come in, I'll let you know. Back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. New information for you this morning. Police are looking for a driver who hit a pedestrian in the Mayport area and then simply took off, they tell us. This happened just after 10 o'clock last night. A pedestrian was killed on A1A, very near Mayport Road. Witnesses told police a gray SUV was seen driving south on A1A after the crash, but they were not able to give any more details about that car. If you know anything, please, Crime Stoppers is the number to call at 866-845-TIPS.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is asking for help this morning to find this wanted man, 21-year-old Duane Rashad Williams McCray. Police say he's wanted on several charges, including child neglect and aggravated battery. He's 5'9", weighs about 140 pounds. More importantly, there's his face on your screen. If you know where he is, please call 911.
Very big story over the weekend. It's a crash we told you about on Saturday morning. You've got drone footage there of where it all went down. It was a 17-year-old named Elijah Swanson died after police say the car he was driving veered off the road and then went into that retention pond right there just off I-95, and that's JTB. What a very busy place. Officers say the car had been stolen from the Riverside area before that whole crash. A new study renews an old problem that school leaders in Duval County have tried to deal with. New district data shows a wide margin in the number of suspensions between African American and white students. School board members say they want to come up with a new way to deal with what they've called a, quote, discipline gap for so long. Now, according to our partners at the Florida Times Union, African American students make up 44% of the district's population, while white students make up 36%. So we've got those basics there. The new data says African American students serve almost 79% of the out-of-school suspensions in Duval County schools, while white students serve just around 12% of those suspensions. You notice the piece of the pie there. Now the Duval County Public School Board wants the interim superintendent, that's Dr. Patricia Willis, to provide more data about discipline rates and a plan about how to deal with this divide and the wide gap. Willis told the board she expects to include some fixes in a teacher training plan that she'll unveil a little later on this year. Lindsay?
A new bit of tension between the U.S. and Russia. I'm Lindsay Boach, and that's topping your national headlines at 6:06. This after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that he's ordered a reduction of U.S. diplomatic personnel in Moscow after Congress approved new sanctions against Russia. The U.S. State Department is calling Putin's move, quote, regrettable and uncalled for. President Trump has not yet signed the sanctions into law. And new unrest after the outcome of Venezuela's national election Sunday. The government said 8 million people voted in the election that allowed its current leader to basically have unlimited power. But opposition members say that only 2 to 3 million people voted. The U.S. has condemned the election that was held Sunday, calling it a step toward authoritarian rule. Feeling a little bit cramped on a flight? Well, you are not alone. Now, an appeals court has ruled the FAA to impose rules regarding seat size, which have been shrinking more and more over the years. The FAA argued it was a comfort problem, not a security one, but the appeals court ruled cramming people into smaller seats on planes could slow down evacuations. All right, so does the traditional 9-to-5 workday still exist? Well, a new survey from Career Builder says no. Company found about 3 in 5 workers say that they don't work a 9-to-5 schedule anymore. Most of them blame things like smaller staff at their jobs or even work from home, and say that they work more than 40 hours a week overall.
Yeah, that's not surprising to anything I've ever heard in my entire life. Absolutely. And any, youngster out there watching right now who may think 9-to-5 is going to be normal? No.
It's not.
No.
Nope, not anymore.
Welcome to the world. 6:07 is your time. A First Coast native now tied with the greatest of all time, the GOAT, at 6:25. A look at Olympic gold medalist Caleb Dressel's big weekend at the World Championships in lovely Budapest. Great. But first, more trouble for New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. I guess you could call it trouble, or maybe he's just standing up for himself at a baseball game. Got a lot of people talking online one way or the other. We will check in with our social media guru, Brooks Baptiste. He's got the voice of an angel at 6:15.
We're okay here at home, but travel not advised farther south. South central Florida, Tropical Depression 6 winding up and bringing flooding rain. We'll take a close look at its impacts and what it means for us.